Farm.ily. I am here in the kitchen today and I am going to whip up some healthy stuffed peppers for dinner tonight. So one of Jeff's favorite dishes are stuffed peppers. So we're going to do those, but tonight we're going to do these with a recipe that is super low carb, probably keto friendly as well. I'm going to be using just some colored peppers tonight, and then I'm going to be using no sugar added tomato sauce. And then I'm using ground turkey tonight just because Jeff is going through an anti-inflammatory type of diet right now. So we're using a lot of ground turkey, and I had that on hand. So we're going to do ground turkey, and then we're also going to use cauli rice, and I'm going to show you how I make the cauli rice to use for the stuffed peppers. So right now in my great big giant family size skillet, I have 2.5 pounds of ground turkey, and I'm just using one of my other favorite tools in the kitchen. This here is my meat chopper. I use this for all sorts of different things, but anytime I'm making meat and using it for ground meat, I always use this. So like I said, I've got the ground turkey in my skillet, and I've got my masher here that I'm just kind of giving it, just twirling that around in there. And then I also have some dried rosemary. Normally I like to use our pork sausage that we get we have made here at the farm. But tonight, like I said, I'm using turkey. So it's got some rosemary in it, and then I'm going to use some dehydrated onion to flavor that up. And so normally I would chop onion, but I'm kind of in a hurry tonight, and I always keep dried onion on hand. So I'm just going to add some dehydrated dried onion to that. And then I am going to use some fresh garlic. If you already have dehydrated garlic or any type of minced garlic, you can just use that. So I have got here just 3 garlic cloves, and then I am going to use my garlic press for that. So this is something else that I love in the kitchen. This is my garlic press, and I have my garlic cloves here. So I am going to take these out of the skin, and I'm just going to pop the skins off of these real quick. And then I'm going to press those garlics into my turkey. One of the quick tips too about garlic is that you can take your knife and you can take your garlic and you can set your garlic on your cutting board, take your knife flat and just give it a quick press, and do the other one the same way. And that'll pop those garlics right out of the skins and make them super easy to press. So there's our garlics all out of the skin. Here's our garlic press, and I'm going to use my knife again. And then we're just going to press that right into our turkey. So you just squeeze the handle, give it a good press, it squeezes out. You put the other one in there, same thing. It always helps if you've got some strong little hands to do that. Like I said, I use 3 garlic cloves. We like garlic in this family, especially in the winter. It's super healthy for you. It's a good natural antibiotic just to keep some germs away. So I pressed the garlic in there. That's all done now. You can see there is nothing left in there, and that's all done. And then I'm just going to brown up this ground turkey. Ground turkey does not take long. This is extra lean, so there will not be any fat in this for me to drain. And we're just going to brown that up really good. And then I'm going to show you how I make my cauli rice. We eat a lot of cauli rice, and when I say we, I mean me, Jeff, and Georgia, not necessarily the rest of the kiddos. They don't particularly care for it, as though they will eat it if they have to. They prefer eating regular rice. The kids actually aren't eating stuffed peppers tonight, so I wasn't worried about whether or not they're going to like cauli rice stuffed peppers. they are actually having tater tot casserole. So that's one of their favorites, but Jeff and I can't eat that, so I'm making him and I and Georgia stuffed peppers, and then I'm making 6 of those so that there's 3 for tonight and 3 left over for us for tomorrow's lunch, because I have a busy day tomorrow, and that way if Jeff comes in and I don't have time to fix him lunch, he can just grab one and heat it up. Or same thing with Georgia, while she's home, she can just grab one and reheat it. So this turkey is almost done. It's just, I just cook it until it's no longer pink, because it will finish cooking if there's anything left in the oven when those peppers bake. So super easy. Like I said, there's no grease in this because it was super lean, and we're just gonna finish cooking that up. And then I'm gonna show you how we do our cauli rice that we make to stuff these peppers. One of the things is that seasoning when you make cauli rice is everything. I have a lot of cauli rice recipes. My kids say that I can make cauli rice 50 different ways, and I probably can, because last year when Jeff was sick, he was on a really super strict diet, and he ate cauli rice probably at least 5 times a week, and I learned to make it in 50 different ways. So anyways, this ground turkey is all done, and I am just going to set this to the side, and I will show you how we do our cauli rice for our stuffed peppers. So that's all done, and I'm just going to move this into a bowl because I need the skillet for the rice. If I was making these not low carb and I just wanted to use regular rice, I would actually just make some minute rice in the microwave or on the stove or in the Instapot, and just add regular white rice to this. So you can just use the white rice instead of the cauli rice and make these just regular. So if you're not watching your carbs or you're not watching calories and you can eat regular rice, I say go for it. It is your traditional stuffed peppers with rice type of dish. So you can see there is like no fat virtually in this pan. So just our turkey and the rosemary, the onion, and the garlic, and it smells super good. And that's all of our meat. So now I have my skillet here on high, and I'm just going to let that get hot for a minute. One of the things that I do is I use a lot of olive oil in our house, and I love the infused olive oils. So this olive oil here is one that I picked up on a trip to Branson. There's an olive oil store in Branson. There's also one in Overland Park. In many parts of the country, you have these different olive oil and balsamic stores. So this one here is a wild mushroom and sage infused olive oil. Like I said, this is from the store in Branson, Missouri. We love to go there. We love to support their local business. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to put some of this in the bottom of my pan, because I am going to what we call fry the rice cauliflower. So I have 2 bags of rice cauliflower here. These are 10-ounce bags, and I just opened those up. They are still frozen, and I'm just going to add these into my skillet with my olive oil. You can hear that my olive oil is hot, so I am just going to add those in there, and then we are going to fry this cauli rice into the olive oil. So I've got all of that added. And I'm just going to take one of my spatulas here, and I'm going to stir that around. I'm going to kind of break it up where it's frozen. There's like little hunks of frozen rice cauliflower. And I'm just going to mix that up into that oil. You can use any flavor that you want, but because I'm doing the stuffed peppers, I decided to go with sage and mushroom. I love that combination since I'm not using actual sausage. This will give it a nice taste. And then what I'm doing is, while this cooks, you want to make sure that you cook this on the highest heat that you can. And then while that cooks, I'm gonna go ahead and add some seasoning to this. So this is another one of my favorite seasonings. It is made by Bragg's, and it is called Organic 24 Herbs and Spice Seasoning. It's called Organic Sprinkle. And this is just all sorts of dried herbs. And so some of the things that are in this is rosemary and onion and thyme, red bell peppers, granulated carrots, granulated tomato, black pepper, parsley. There is lemon peel, orange peel, celery seed, dill seed, oregano, savory, sage, ground ginger, bay leaf, turmeric. So there's 21 or 24 different herbs and spices. I love the seasoning. I use it for everything. And it makes such, I mean, it just has a punch of flavor in it. So I'm adding this to the cauli rice tonight. This is going to be what really, really adds to our stuffed peppers. So I've got that. I'm adding a pretty generous amount of this because I want this cauli rice to be super flavorful. And then we are just going to cook this. Part of the trick of cooking the cauli rice is to cook it until there is no moisture in it. A lot of people complain that the cauli rice is wet and mushy, and that is just because you're not cooking it long enough. So you really want to cook this until it's super, super dry, and you'll get more of a rice texture type of consistency to it. So that's one of the things that I find most people do wrong with cauli rice. And the other thing is, like, make sure that it's spread evenly over the heat, just so that it cooks evenly. And you want to season it really well. Cauliflower does not really have that much of a taste to it, so it takes on the taste of whatever you're cooking it with. So when I make it in the stuffed peppers, I want to season it with a lot of herbs and a lot of sage and a lot of like really bold seasonings. When I'm making it with I'll make like chicken fried cauli rice, and with that I will add like chicken broth to it, and then I also use the olive oil that is like the roasted sesame olive oil, so it has more of an Asian flair to it. And then depending on like if I'm using it with fish or under fish or something like that, I'll change up the seasonings of what I'm using it, what I'm frying it in. And that really just changes the whole taste of what the cauliflower tastes like. So I've mentioned I make chicken fried rice with it. One of these days when I'm doing an Asian dinner, I'll show you what that's like. And then I also do an Italian asparagus risotto made with cauli rice. That's one of my other favorites. Jeff loves that one. I make Spanish fried rice. That's with onions and Spanish paprika, and I'll fry that up into a Spanish rice. So there is lots of things you can do with it. I know a lot of people kind of turn their nose up to it, but if you're cutting the carbs and you need an alternative, not eating rice gets old, so you can go with cauli rice. You can rice your own. You can go to the store, buy cauliflower, get a ricer and rice it. But I really have found out that my favorite thing is just to go to the frozen food section. It saves tons of time to just buy the pre-bagged riced cauliflower. The store brand or the Green Giant is good. I've tried all the brands and there honestly is no difference. So it's whatever is on sale or just whatever's in stock lately. These days, you kind of have to just get what they have, because I've learned that it's a take it or leave it type of situation. So whatever they've got, I buy, and usually it's whatever is the biggest bag and the cheapest bag. So like I said, I can make cauliflower a lot of different ways. I have my oven. I'm going to preheat my lower oven to 350 degrees because that's what I'm going to bake these peppers at. And I am just going to let this sit here for a minute and really just kind of cook up and dry up some more. And I'm going to show you what I do with my peppers. So I've got, like I said, I'm making 6 peppers tonight. And I'm using this stone that I have. I like cooking in the stones as much as possible. Not always do they make the stones as big as what I need for our size family. So tonight, I'm going to use the stone for these peppers. So if you have any peppers that don't sit flat and you need them to sit flat, all you have to do is cut the bottoms off. I only really have one that's not sitting as flat as I like, so I'm just going to cut the bottom off flat like that, and then you can see that they just sit nice and flat in there. So if you've got a pepper that's kind of misshaped and is not sitting straight up and down, you can just cut the bottom off of it. So that's all I do there. And then I'm gonna come over here and I'm just gonna cut the tops of these out. So I'm gonna just cut around the top because I wanna make a hole in the top of them so that we can stuff these up and pop out the top. So all of the scrap food that we have either goes out to Georgia's chickens or we have a bucket that we go feed to the pigs. So we're just gonna take these peppers and we're just going to cut the tops out before we stuff them. I'm kind of just over there listening and watching my cauli rice to make sure that that doesn't burn, but that's really kind of a foolproof thing because it really just, the longer you cook it, the drier it gets and the more like rice it is. So it's really not, it's really quite hard to burn. I mean, I guess you could burn it if you walked away from it. So I'm gonna give it a little stir right here just to make sure, but it's not even sticking. It is starting to turn just a little bit brown. So this is about like where I like it. I like it to kind of look like brown rice actually. So I cook that up until it has kind of a golden brown color to it. You can kind of see here how it's really getting brown. And if you want to know, you can't smell in my kitchen, but if you want to know what this smells like right now, it kind of smells like stuffing at Thanksgiving time because it has that sage and mushroom olive oil in it, and then it has that Bragg seasoning, and it really does, it smells just like bread stuffing, which is another thing that I've done with this too. I've made it just like stuffing and used it to stuff chicken and turkey with in place of breadcrumb and bread stuffing. So we're gonna put that back on the stove, let that cook just a minute more while I finish taking out the centers of these peppers, and then we will be ready to get these all stuffed up. So super easy. This is gonna give me at least a meal for Jeff for tonight and then probably for lunch tomorrow too. And then I'm gonna just make tater tot casserole tonight for the kids. So pop that out and then we should be ready to go. Owen, can you bring me that bowl for the scraps for the pigs, please? That's on the counter right there. Yeah, can you give me that? So these are just a sweet bell pepper. I love in the summertime. We usually have green peppers and everything from either our garden or from the farmer's market. So we will just put all of this in the bowl for the pigs, and that will go out for this in just a few minutes. So there we've got that. Our cauli rice is all done. I'm going to turn the oven off there, and I'm going to let you see what this looks like because it is super easy. So here's our cauli rice. And it's done, and like I said, it looks just like brown rice. It's super dry, it's not sticky. It's got like a nice golden brown color to it. Super, super easy. Smells just like turkey stuffing in the kitchen. And that's it on that. So you have that, you have your cauli rice, and then we have our ground turkey. So we're gonna take that. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add my ground turkey straight into the cauli rice bowl. If I have extra ground turkey, I always like to take that and I freeze it into 4-ounce sections, and I put that into the freezer. I have that for quick and easy lunches that are already measured out. So there we have the cauli rice mixed together with the ground sausage, and my oven just let me know that it is ready to preheat, or it's done preheating, so that these can go straight into the oven. If you want to add anything to this, you can add whatever kind of veggies you like. If you like extra onions or if you like cheese, you can add cheese to it. I am only just doing the meat and the cauli rice in this, and then I will top them off with the tomato sauce. So you could also add the tomato sauce to this if you'd like. I've had them that way as well. But like I said, tonight I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stuff them with the meat. So this is super hot. Here's our peppers. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill these peppers with this mixture. I'm gonna pat it down in there so that it gets nice and tight. And then we're just gonna put those in the bowl because these are gonna be ready to go into the oven just as soon as I am done. So Georgia and Jeff just stepped inside, and then we will.
It smells delicious in here, you guys. Like, it is awesome.
So, like I said, our family generally eats early. We try to eat no later than 5:30, especially during the winter months during school. Our kids have an early bedtime, and so one of the things that Jeff and I do is that we try to make sure that we always eat dinner together every night as a family. We eat dinner together around between 5 and 5:30. Everybody picks up after dinner. We all have chores. They all have chores that they do. Jeff usually washes dishes and has kids that help with dish duty and sweeping floors and putting everything away. And then after dinner, we generally have family time at dinner time where we talk about everybody's day, which generally is quite chaotic. And then after dinner, we get chores done. We have some family time. Sometimes we'll play games. The famous game right now everybody loves is what, Georgia? Rumacube?
Yeah.
Rumacube. That's the one everybody...
We got banned from Monopoly.
Yes, we're banned. They're banned from Monopoly because Jeff can't play nice. So because Jeff can't play nice, nobody gets to play. So I told him that when he can play nice, then the children can play Monopoly again with him. But anyways, so yeah, so dinner routine consists of dinner, cleaning up dinner, finishing up if there's any homework, maybe doing a game, and then talking to the kids about kind of what's going on for the rest of the week. And then bedtime by 7:30. Whoever needs baths, that usually happens between 6:30 and 7. And then kids are all in their rooms in bed at 7:30. So even our big kids know that they have to be in their rooms by 7:30. Our little kids are in their rooms and lights off, ready for sleep at 7:30. And then that way Jeff and I have some time to be sane, talk about our day, unwind, and just spend some time together. So it's what works for our family. Like I said, what works for our family does not work for everybody. So, okay, so I have got all of these peppers stuffed up and ready to go. What I am going to do with those is I am going to take this sugar-free spaghetti sauce. It is this one that I'm using today is just the Prego brand. No sugar added. It is super low in calories and carbs. It's only like 6 grams of carbs per half a cup. So it's not very much at all. And then, let me see if I can get a clean spoon. So I'm just going to take this tomato sauce and I'm just going to pour this right on the top. So this will just add some moisture to these peppers. And then while these peppers are in the oven cooking, I am actually going to start the kids' tater tot casserole for tonight. So I'm actually going to use the turkey that I used for the peppers for them tonight. And I have some extra leftover ground turkey in the refrigerator that I'm going to add to it. And then that's it. So like I said, I've got that going on. I've got some cheese I'm going to top these with. And then that's it. So tonight's cheese that I'm using is pepper jack. It's one that I had in the refrigerator. You can use any cheese you want. Usually I use mozzarella, but I have this little bit of pepper jack left, so we're just going to use the pepper jack tonight. So anyways, super easy, quick and easy. If you're doing the carb-free diet or keto diet, or you're just watching your carbs, or you just want something yummy, give our stuffed peppers a try. So that's all there is to that, guys. Those are done. I'm putting them in the oven. I will bake those for about 45 minutes, and then they'll come in the oven. I like to let them set just a little while, and these are all done. So we are super glad that you joined us today on our Farm.ily site. So join us again, and we hope you guys have a great evening. Enjoy.
Don't forget to like, subscribe down below, hit the application bell, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram.